Have you ever wondered why diets don't work? Today, we're going to share with you 3 top reasons, and we also share what does work. My name is Katja and I'm emotional detox and karma cleanse expert. And I have here with me today Health Allie, Alison Simon, who is a detox expert. So we will be talking these 3 top reasons. And we have also our own stories to share with you, like how we found out what does work. Because believe me, we have been there, we tested some things, and we just want to offer you a shortcut, an easier way, because we tried many things. Isn't it so, Allie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So could you start sharing a little bit your journey? How did you find detox?
Yeah. Thank you, Katja. It's really good to be here with you from across the pond. I am Alison Simon, aka Health Allie, and I am a functional nutrition health coach and detox expert. But I was not always. Definitely not. And it was having struggled for a good 10 years of my life when I was supposed to be young and well, I was young chronologically, but I felt like a little old lady, young and free in the world. And instead I spent most of my time seeing specialists for chronic pain, constantly dieting, trying to lose 5 or 10 pounds, suffering with migraines, just a mess, just a miserable experience. And what usually happens is we think about being healthy as being, are we fat or thin? And if you're not fat, you can do whatever you want. And if you are, then we have to eat less and exercise more. And that's usually the first thing that people do is start restricting what they eat. And it's a fast way to diet down. And I used to do that if I had an award show or a wedding. I would just diet down, no carbs and little calories and work out all the time. And it works.
Yeah, I've been there too, done the yo-yo.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it does. It sets you up for a yo-yo because you will diet down, you'll lose the weight. It's not sustainable. Usually you might feel tired, cranky, irritable, weak, not able to do your workouts, feeling just low energy.
Yeah.
And the second you start going back to your regularly scheduled life, that's when you start gaining the weight again. You start getting puffy, inflamed. That's what would happen to me. And this is the number one reason why diets don't work, is that when you have calorie restriction like that, it is unsustainable. And that's also assuming that it's a one size fits all scenario, which doing that doesn't take into account your own personal, your gender, your age, your genetics, your lifestyle, and how that all works with you. If you have really long hours and you have a really active job, being on 500 calories is not going to get you very far. Your brain capacity is not going to work. Your physical body is not going to work. And when you go through this yo-yo swinging back and forth, you set yourself up for metabolism issues, hormonal issues. It only works in the beginning. But when you keep doing this, and especially on extreme dieting, it's sort of, it's just physics. When you go to one extreme, the pendulum will always swing back. And that's how people usually end up gaining so much more weight than they lost, and then spending so many years trying to get it off. And that was sort of the pattern that I got myself into, is I was just always trying to lose the weight, always trying to fix what was wrong with me. And the only way people ever really address it is dieting, extreme exercise, and maybe some medication. And all of that did nothing to help me, but just set me up on this cycle for 10 years of misery. Which then, when you're feeling like crap, if you're like me, you start then emotional, that was my drug of choice. I theoretically, it's kind of maybe a safer choice than turning to alcohol or drugs, but food and sugar was my drug. And I would eat more of that and then set myself up for this perpetual cycle.
Yeah, and that is actually the number two reason why diets don't work, because we don't address what's behind that. What is there, the reason, like you said, like finding the comfort from the food. I have been there too. Like I have done that, especially when I travel a lot. Like sometimes, yeah, I do feel lonely, so I buy some cookies instead of actually addressing the issue. What's there? The feeling of loneliness, feeling like I'm miserable, I'm not happy. And I realized that the cookies, yes, they might bring a little temporary feeling like, oh, it's nice to eat them, but immediately then there comes the remorse, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And that is just adding more weight onto your shoulders, because not that you just ate the cookies, you then blame yourself for that. And still you didn't address the what truly was behind there. And that is something I want to bring into, is to, there is a way to release whatever there is. And because we all have been through a lot of things, and that's my own journey as well. I went through a lot. When I was 16, I lost a loved one, and that put me in a very dark place for years. And that dark place also was the starting point for learning how I got out from there. And now I do love my life, and I enjoy my life. So that is possible for you as well. So whatever there was, that was the root cause to start this yo-yoing or weight gain. So there is a way to release that and make peace with that, so you can actually enjoy be living in a happy and healthy body. So that is the number two reason that I want to bring in on the board, like also addressing what's there. And a simple way is to just pause, even for a few seconds. Just pause before you take the cookie. Am I hungry, or am I comforting something? And that's the first step. If you decide to eat the cookie, you can do that. But sometimes you say like, maybe I don't want that cookie. And that happened just actually to me today at the supermarket. So I was there like, going to the cookie selection. And then I was like, do I really want to do that to my body? And then I didn't buy them. So,
Yeah,
so,
and it's not the cookie that's the problem, because if you are in a good emotional place and you are a otherwise healthy person, it's not the cookies problem. And I'm here to tell you that, because I love cookies. I make cookies. I eat them all the time. The difference is I've up-leveled my cookies. They're not your standard issue store-bought cookies. Not that there aren't some good ones that you can buy at the store. But there's a funny thing that happens when you have higher nutrient dense foods.
yeah.
You can't eat the whole bag. And I was the master at eating entire bags of anything. If it was an open box or bag, it was an empty. And I also had the thought process. I mean, I consciously thought that, well, if I just finish it, it'll be gone. So let me just eat the whole thing.
Yeah, we were taught well.
Yeah. So, but then I would end up going back to the store and buying more. So it's not the cookie, but what's so interesting, you touched on something with the emotions, is in Chinese medicine, there is the Chinese 5 elements theory, practice, that our emotions are stored in our organs. And in particular, depression and anger happen to be stored in the liver. If you notice people who are depressed or really angry, you want to address that both emotionally, from the standpoint that you work with people doing emotional cleansing and addressing how people feel and really getting in touch with that. And also physically, because if we're not cleaning out the organ that sole responsibility is to detoxify our bodies, any of the junk that we bring in our food, in the air, on our skin, it has to go through the liver. It's sort of it's our filter.
Yeah.
It is the body's filter. And if you don't clear that out, all of that negativity kind of builds up. And so it's sort of a two-pronged approach. And this would be the third reason why diets don't work, is because they usually are not addressing the toxic burden that's on your body. And we get toxins from so many places inadvertently. It's not just the smokestacks you see coming out of factories or oil spill. That's usually what we think of. But it's in the air. We breathe it in. It's in products that we put on our bodies. And it's in food and water that we ingest. And it needs to be addressed. And a lot of these toxins happen to be lipophilic, which means they are fat loving. And since our body doesn't know isn't that great? They love fat. We don't.
Somebody loves fat.
Somebody does. Yeah. And our fat, so the toxins love the fat cells and actually make our fat cells grow bigger. They actually can reprogram how the fat cells behave. And so here's what's really interesting is not only does it make it bigger, but if you go back to what most people do when they diet is calorie restrict, work out really, really hard, and start losing weight. You will lose weight. You will lose pounds. And it's something that we call skinny fat. People who look really thin, but they're actually really toxic on the inside. And what happens is the fat cells shrink, and then the toxic chemicals that were in there just start circulating throughout the body. So we still have the pain and inflammation and puffiness, yet we've lost the weight. We may have lost 10 pounds, 15 pounds, right? But we are now toxic. And we'll see that with headaches. We'll see that with digestive issues. We'll see that with joint pain. The liver, in fact, actually is responsible. It's really associated with joint pain, especially the knees. And that was one of my biggest issues and impediments when I was going through all of my struggles was my knees. And so it was a huge awakening for me, is that if you don't get rid of these toxins, they will be in your joints. And so the liver is really a key thing to address. It also, everything we eat has to filter through it. So it will hold on to nutrients. It will also hold on to chemicals that it doesn't know what to do with and hold on to it for later. We need to help it because there's 30,000 chemicals in commerce being used today. I'll bet the body doesn't recognize some of them, a lot of them, right? I mean, just technology is moving faster than the human body has evolved. And so if we address that and do a gentle detoxing, which is removing stuff that adds toxicants to our bodies, adding so it's not just about cookies. So all of the things that feed us that could be building up toxins. And I like to do a whole body approach. So again, everything that feeds us, our surroundings and stuff that we, like I said, we inhale, absorb, and ingest. When we address it that way and remove the toxic overload that our body is suffering from, and handle the emotional aspect, because that's going to be part of it. Eating, it's sort of like a religion, right? People are really attached to the way they eat. I don't want to give up that food. I love it so much. It makes me so happy.
I know.
Right? You don't want to hear, don't eat that.
Yeah.
So when we systematically remove certain things, but add stuff in, it's not just about removal. We have to add in nutrients that are going to help this process to work. It's going to help the liver to clear out so that it can do its job, so that it's better able to handle all of the chemical assaults that come at us on a daily basis. And so we address all of these three things. And this is sort of how Rapid Renewal Detox was birthed, is that we realized we have to have this three-prong approach, is take out what's not working, handle the emotional piece, because there's going to be a lot of emotions that come up, not only from releasing, but also from being told that you have to make changes. And the actual going through the process of behavior and lifestyle modifications, ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, because we are used to patterns and our comfort zone, even though it wouldn't be comfortable, even though you might be like every day telling yourself, I should do that, or I should start losing weight, or I should eat healthier. I've been there. I've been like, oh, I should. And I was like, oh, gosh, it's so heavy now. So I'm so happy that I met you. Yeah.
Stop shitting on yourself.
Yeah. Because that is like kind of it takes, and we help you to do those like microscopic changes that you start changing that, and I'm there to support you. But if there is emotions, and if and when the emotions come up, so you are not alone. So think about in the past, if you had a diet and you one point gave up on that. So now it wouldn't need to happen, because now there is a person who can help you, who wants to support you to go through that. So you are not alone now with the diet, or kind of like, how do I do? You get the emotional support, and then if you have any questions about recipes, you can always adjust things for you. So that's the beauty of Rapid Renewal Detox.
Well, that absolutely, that's the thing that, so going back to reason number one why diets don't work, is it's not one size fits all. And even with Rapid Renewal Detox, we take into account that everybody is different. What's right for you is not going to be right for me. We come from different everything. You know, the only thing we have in common is that we're both women.
Yeah.
Right. But physically, we're completely different. We have no genetics, and that makes a difference in how people are going to respond to a diet, to healing. And in the detox, there are certain things universally that must come out. There are certain physiological facts that we have to address, and we remove certain things. So the first week, so we designed this to be 21 days. So it's 3 weeks. And in the first week, we are preparing. We start cleaning out stuff around us. We do shopping for the stuff that we're going to add in. We always want to have the support of the additional food. It's not just about removal. I can't stress this enough. But I give you a list of foods that are on the no-no list and the good list, and you get to pick and choose what you want to do. You don't have to make a recipe that you're like, I don't like.
Yeah, because that won't work.
I don't either. Guess what? I don't either. Yeah, it's not going to work. You're not going to do it. And so you don't have to. It's not rigid like that. So it's disciplined in a loose, fun way. Right? So it's not so restrictive, but there is a framework from which you are expected to, if you want results, you're going to follow within this framework, but you have flexibility. It's got to be flexible. It's got to be fun. It's got to work right for you. And that's why we also have the regular support in our Facebook group and on our calls, on our live call.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome. And then in the second week, that's where we really dig in. And this is where, thank God for Katja, because that's when more stuff comes out. We've still added in. We add in a lot of mineral and nutrient support, so you will never feel deprived. This is not about calorie restriction at all. We eat. I do not count calories. I don't believe in counting calories. It makes me crazy. We eat. We just don't eat certain things. And it may sound really hard, and it might be for a couple of days, but once you break past that, that's where the beauty is, right outside that little
Mm.
window. And then the third week, we do a slow adding back in, where that's where we get to have the blinders come off, and we start to notice the changes that happened in our body. That's what happened to me years ago, is you start to learn how you feel when you eat certain things and how you feel when they are out of your system,
Yeah,
when the weight starts to fall off
that's
and
a
the energy starts.
great moments to really observe, like, and that's kind of like systematical way, so you know what, how your body reacts to things, because again, we might sometimes just do things without knowing, and maybe sometimes I don't even always feel good after those cookies, but I still ate them. But now there is a way to also release then the emotional, the issue that was there in the first place. So when you start adding things up back to your diet, you have cleaned a lot the emotional package. So then you are already lighter emotionally as well. So not only physically, but also emotionally.
When you start to notice, it's like it's this awareness that you really can't know until you do something different. We as human beings are programmed to fall back to what we're used to. It's sort of a survival tactic. We get into patterns, and as long as we're not at risk, there's no perceived danger, our brains just default to what worked before. We didn't die, we didn't get
Mm.
sick that we know of. And so we just keep doing that. That's why it's so easy to just grab the cookies. You're feeling stressed. Oh, well, it always makes me feel better immediately. And it does. But soon after, you kind of feel terrible,
Mm.
guilty, ashamed,
Mm.
perhaps, because you
Yeah.
did something that you know you shouldn't have done. And then you're feeling bloated and gross. But we still do it over and over and over again. And
Yeah.
it's because we haven't cleared out. And so that's what rapid renewal is designed to do. In a fast amount of time, in 21 days, it's lifting that veil, renewing what happens in your body, how it works, and setting up this new foundation so that you can build upon health and go from there and reevaluate what your goals are. So if it's to lose weight, I really highly recommend rapid renewal detox. It's the greatest first step that you can take. And it's what works. It takes everything that doesn't work about diets, flips it and says, yeah, I got your diet right here. This works, because it's not a diet. It's not about deprivation or restriction. Even though we do take some things out, we add so much in, you don't even miss it.
Mm.
Maybe for a day or two. I'm just being honest. A day or two, that's it. But then you have the whole community and the support, and the results that you get are just worth every moment of, I don't want to say suffering because it's not suffering, but of having to stretch. It's just a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of
Yeah.
getting outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
A little discomfort, a little bit.
And I'm there to support. So that little, we can see the vision, and that's the moment also when we do visualization. So you focus on the goal, because it's easier to go there when you know where you're going. So I can't wait to start this Thursday. We will have our first call at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And not to worry, if you're a busy lady, we will have a recording.
If you're feeling called to rapid renewal detox, if you're feeling like I have been struggling for too long, I've tried everything, it's just not working, this weight won't budge, I feel awful, I just don't know what to do, I don't know if I'm eating the right things, I don't know what I'm supposed to eat, I keep getting sick, all of these things, then we strongly urge you to consider rapid renewal detox. if you are feeling called, if this feels like a logical next step for you, then we want to invite you to hop on the phone with us. Schedule an appointment at, the link is Meet Me. So it's www.meetme.so. So why not join? So meetme.so/rapid renewal. And you can schedule an appointment to hop on the phone just a few minutes and see if it's a good fit for you. We're getting started this Thursday, 11 a.m., 11 a.m. Pacific, PST, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m.
in
Central
Europe.
European
Yes.
time. We would love to see you. It's going to be a blast. If you've ever tried detox before, this is completely different. I assure you, this will be a unique experience and you will get the sustainable results that you are looking for. If you're not sure, hop on the phone with us. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to chat. We try to be very accessible, and it doesn't matter where in the world we are, we still find a way to hop on the phone and talk to you, and we'd love to do that.
Yes. So just do that, because we want to also that this will work for you. We want to give you results that and healthy and happier body. So just give us a call and we will see how this would fit for you and your needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And being in a group of like-minded people who are all on this journey, it's really super empowering. And we've done it. We've gone through the program ourselves. We are living proof. And there are dozens of other people who have gone through the program, who have had sustainable results, and their lives are forever changed in just 21 days. So go to meetme.so/rapid renewal, hop on the phone with us, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye for now.